back, everybody. Well, today we are going to do some work on the front porch today. Get ready for Memorial Day. But before we do that, I wanted to turn the camera around and show you what we finally got turned on today. One of my favorite things about our backyard is this lovely little fountain, and it does need to be cleaned up just a bit because of some of the debris that was in there, but this is one of my favorite things. It's right near the bird feeder, which is right there. So we do have a lot of birds that go from there and then they come over here to take a little bath. But love this spot. That statue I brought back from Hawaii from my mom and dad's house. That used to be right outside their master bedroom. So this is part of the secret garden that just is my homage to missing Hawaii. But this is a serene place. So glad it's finally open. Another thing I'm going to take you to is we're going to go into the vegetable garden right now because I want to show you, even though we are May 20th today, the weather is turning. It's actually going to be only a high of, I think, 60 degrees today, but then actually maybe 58 degrees today. And then as the days progress, we're going to be high in the 40s. So let me show you what I've had to do for the tomatoes and the peppers and the basil just to protect them a little bit. So you're going to see that overnight I use, I think they're called cloches. So those are all the those are all the tomatoes and the peppers and basil that I'm protecting in here. And over here, I actually did a winter cover. So I'm out here this morning just to take this off so that there's a little bit more sun during the duration of the day. So my morning routine, I opened up the greenhouse for the tomatoes and basil, as well as the broccoli, cauliflower, kale, etc., so that I can get some air. These guys can get a little sunshine. Here's what my little tomatoes and peppers look like so far after I removed the cloches. So they look happy. They don't look like they're yellowing or they're upset yet. These guys were not covered and they seem to be handling their own. And these guys look pretty happy in here too. So we'll just get through the next couple of days, especially Friday. Friday in a couple of days is going to be tough because these guys are going to go through high of 48, I think. So luckily I have this pretty cool setup from Gardener Supply. So let me just say that a lot of my supplies I do have in my garden are from Garden Supply. I'm actually going to put a link to a lot of these things in the description below. But these little greenhouses that I use have both a winter cover as well as a shade cover so that you can have these on through pretty much the beginning of the summer. The winter, not the winter one, but the green one. I use that to protect from pests, which is why I brought mine back out, because of the groundhog or the rabbit that ate everything. And then sometimes it's just good to also deter birds depending on what you're growing. I tend to have birds around my entire garden because I have little bird houses that are very active. Like right now, I just watched a mama bird just go into a bird feeder over there. So sometimes these covers are really helpful for that. The cloches that I have down there, those are excellent for situations like this week where you buy things that the weather is warm and you think, oh, it's going to be great, like for the tomatoes and the basil and the peppers. But then if you have nights where it drops significantly in the temperature and you don't want to affect the growth of your plants, having those cloches are ideal. So anyway, I took care of my chores. So now let's go to the front porch and get ready to decorate for Memorial Day, even though it feels like more like we're getting ready for sometime in March or April. Can't believe we're almost at the end of May. One more thing I forgot to show you guys. The blackberries are starting to grow. So let me just turn around so you can see all the blackberries. So here are some blackberries showing up. Last year we made some delicious jam out of all of this. Look at all those. I would say definitely in 3 weeks we'll probably have a good amount to nibble on. Over here, very early stages, but you can see those are the raspberries that are going to be plentiful. These raspberries come in twice. They come in early summer And then they'll come again at the end of summer. But those are the raspberries. Well, and if we're gonna talk berries, I might as well take you over and let's just check in on the blueberries and see how those guys are doing too. Okay. Here they, oh, look at this. Look at this. This bush is gonna give us a ton. So in about a week or so, I am going to have to cover these up because those birds are gonna be wanting to feast on all these blueberries. So let's go outside. Here is the front porch that we did the other day. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put up some swags. We'll do a nice big swag over the door. And then to top it off, we'll put an American flag out in the front. What I did notice though is, and let me turn this around. I have a lot of scuffs on the columns from the Christmas garlands that we put up. The metal wires on the back have done some scratches. So after I hang up some of these swags, I am going to get some paint to touch all this stuff up so that it's nice and fresh going into the summer. So let me stop the dogs from digging and we'll take it from there. All right, so I brought all of the supplies down from upstairs in the attic. I brought down my swags, my flags, some little spindle things. I also grabbed hooks and some, I brought some zip ties. So this is what we're gonna be playing with. I just have to go grab my ladder and then we'll start putting this all together. So far so good. What we did over the door came across looking pretty sharp. Over here we got our swags up on both sides. And so now what we need to do is figure out what to put in the center of both coffee tables just to give it the final touch. what I decided to do here for now, since we're gonna get a cold snap, I didn't want to plant anything, so just cut some fresh flowers from the garden and some sprigs. Those are some outdoor candles. But this side is ready to rock and roll for Memorial Day. Okay, so let me introduce you to the Little Giant, my favorite ladder ever. So what you'll see is that you can put this little ladder on different levels on both sides. So you can do funky things like this to get to that much easier. Take a peek. Take this down because we just successfully hung the flag. See, ta-da, yay! But notice this cool ladder. So see how the front feet are higher on 3 steps up to the back? Super adjustable, and you can also make this one long ladder. So I'm going to put it in the description if you like it. You can get it through Amazon if you're interested. But my favorite ladder ever. Well, there's no paint in my house, so I'm gonna have to do that project another day. It does need to happen though, so that it gives a finishing touch. But for today's project, we got everything done up to the flag hanging off the pole finally to be ready for Memorial Day. We normally keep all this stuff up between Memorial Day and just near the end of July. Near the end of July, we start taking everything down and start transitioning to back to school. So I'll keep this stuff up for a little bit, but the flowers that I just put into those red pots over here, for now, I'm just going to change it out with greens I cut from the garden and flowers, just because I don't want to buy anything knowing that the weather's so funky and then if I forget to water them. So anywho, really happy how it turned out. Hope this was a fun little inspiration on getting some stuff done for Memorial Day. I didn't go out and buy anything, so hopefully some of you already have a lot of these little goodies around your place. Extra American flags from years before. Maybe you have swags, maybe you don't. I've collected these little trinkets over the years, so this is a very, we'll call it affordable holiday for me. I don't go out and go crazy like at Christmas or Halloween or Easter, but I think the next fun thing that we'll do, other than doing, well, I don't know if it's fun, but painting the pillars to get them all cleaned up, I think the next fun thing will be looking at more things in the garden in the next couple of weeks, but also probably trying to clean up the barbecue, clean up the back deck, get that ready for the summer so we can maybe get some new rugs or something. That's where we'll spend a little money, just to freshen it up in the back. And then fingers crossed, in a couple of weeks, the pool will open. So even more fun to share on this channel. All right, well, have a happy Memorial Day weekend. Hope it's filled with a lot of fun and love with your friends and family. For those of you who have served with our country, I thank you for your service. I am so full of gratitude for the freedom you provide for me and my family. My father was a veteran of the Army. My uncle is a veteran of the Navy. I am incredibly proud to be a relative of military. I lost an uncle that I never met, also in the Army. So my heart is definitely owned by being patriotic to our military personnel. So thank you for everything, and happy Memorial Day. Thanks, everybody. See you on the next episode.